is going on YouTube land? I am Chris Catalunya. Before we get into this video, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya, with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And we are hitting it really close to that 8,000 subscriber mark here on this YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. If you're subscribed already, if you're not, you definitely will want to, because once we hit AK subs, I'm going to give away some cool prizes like a Supreme Balaclava face mask, a Supreme Cat in the Hat t-shirt, and 3 Bathing Ape magazines in which they all contain Bape accessories. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Today is June 1st, 2019, and what is releasing today is the Jordan brand and Shoe Palace collaboration on these Jordan 1 Ginas. I'll get a little more in depth with the story later, but this is what we picked up. This was not all me, this was between 3 people. This is what the box looks like, and it looks pretty legit. It's made out of a tin material. It's quality, y'all. It looks like your typical Jordan box where it's done in all black, and then you have your Nike branding all over, label right here, Shoe Palace right here, and you have your lunchbox handle right here, the locks. Open the box. Ugh. You have some Shoe Palace branding right there, a card, and this is what the Gina Jordan 1 looks like. It looks pretty cool in hand, actually. At first I was dogging it, looking at the pictures and whatnot, but this actually looks like a cool shoe. As you saw, today was a pretty easy cop. Was able to just pull up the Shoe Palace at Barton Creek, and we were like the first 2 people in line to cop these shoes. I'm actually kind of confused as to why there weren't anyone camping out for the shoe, like why there wasn't too much hype around the shoe, especially since it was a Shoe Palace exclusive, and there aren't a lot of Shoe Palaces on the East Coast and the Midwest of the United States, so it's pretty limited. Also, we all know that Shoe Palace's website is complete trash, so it would only make sense that people would go out to that physical store and camp out, but that was definitely not the case. Now, while the shoe has a very compelling story, which we'll get into later, the main reason why I came out for the Jordan 1 Ginas is because of this box right here, done up in that typical Jordan 1 retro styling, but it's a tin box, a tin lunchbox. This thing looks hella good. You have Nike plastered all over. At the very top, you have the 2 latches to open the lunchbox, and then on the inside is where the shoe sits. On the inside of the box, it says Shoe Palace. It has like a retro card in here. It has a bumper sticker and the shoes, of course. And then on the outside, you have your handle. So here's that retro card, and here's that bumper sticker, which is kind of bent out of place. Now, the story behind Gina, her full name is Virginia Wright, and she is an educator based in San Jose, California. Now, what makes Gina special is that she goes out of her way to inspire and to delegate kids to go off into college to strive for better means. She was known as the I don't want to hear any excuses type of person. Separating herself from her counterparts, Gina started wearing Jordans to school, and slowly she began realizing that students of hers were taking interest in her styling. And you know how it is, back in middle school or back in high school, we would all talk about shoes coming out or talk about the newest apparel items coming out. So it was just kind of crazy to see one of your educational leaders decked out in the shoes that you admired. So soon she had realized that the shoes that she was rocking to school were now a conversational piece, and she realized that she could bridge the gap and relate to the kids on this level. I will say that it is very refreshing to see 2 companies, Nike and Shoe Palace, stepping out of the norm and praising an educator over an athlete, which is very routine and predictable. And to not only dedicate her a shoe release, but to dedicate an Air Jordan 1 retro shoe design for her. Now, while I was able to purchase this shoe on its store release date, June 1st of 2019, this actually had an earlier release date of May 25th, 2019, and that first release was happening in San Jose at the very first Shoe Palace. At that particular store, they were to have given out 200 to 300 pairs of the Jordan 1 Ginas. And being that Gina is a teacher, they followed through with that educational theming. They had a classroom setting going on where you sat at the desk, and in order to get the shoe, you would have to take a Scantron test in which they asked questions about the NBA and Michael Jordan and the Nike brand. And if you want to watch that entire walkthrough, that entire classroom setting, you can watch MJo23 Dan's video, which is posted in the link above. My first impression of the Jordan 1 Gina, seeing the different pictures on the different blogs and whatnot, honestly, I really wasn't a fan of this shoe. And the only thing that was compelling about the shoe was the story and Gina. Perhaps it's because I'm not a fan of that shimmer on my shoes. It just looks kind of weird to me. It looks like something that only Nick Cannon would be able to rock. Truly, the only thing that I wanted from this release was the lunchbox. That was the only thing going for it. Obtaining the shoe, seeing the shoe in person, being able to touch it with my hand, this shoe is still ugly. Really, I just don't see myself conjuring up enough confidence to rock a shoe that's mainly comprised of sequin material. I just don't like sequins. It's bad enough when I go back home to San Antonio and I see a bunch of ladies, especially during fiesta time, rocking sequin hats or sequin shirts. It's just gross to me. Sequins are just hella tacky, y'all. And not only do I not like sequins, but some of these sequins are already falling off, so I'm more afraid that when I start putting use to this shoe, like particularly in the creased areas, more of those sequins will fall off. Taking a look at the upper of the shoe, again the shoe is mostly comprised of sequin material. On this quarter panel right here, wrapping around the toe box area and around this collar, is done in a silver sequin pattern. At the toe box, the heel cup, the Nike swoosh, and this ankle strap right here, they're done in a black sequin material. Now I think it is very fair to assume that all the sequins that are on the shoe are glued onto leather panels. Going back to that ankle strap right here, we have the Air Jordan's Wings logo that is cut out and debossed or stamped into that leather material, again stitched onto that ankle panel. On the right shoe, we have a hang tag, and it is gold plated. We have the ball and chain done in gold, and we have this apple right here done in gold. On the front side, you have the Jordan logo, and then the red, and then the green again for the apple. On the reverse side, you have the all gold going around, and that Shoe Palace logo right there, done in red. Moving on to the lacing system, the default set of laces are the black lace, a cotton build, and a flat shape. They did provide us with a secondary set, this red one right here. Now, what I like about these laces in this particular shoe set is that they are of a wax coating. Behind those sets of laces is your standard Jordan 1 tongue that is padded and enclosed within black nylon material. At the very top of the tongue features that label with your standard Nike Air logo right there, done in red. Jumping into the inside of the shoe, the lining is done in a black neoprene material, and it is very well padded on the lateral, the medial, and the heel sides of the shoe to give you some cushioning or some comfort towards your ankle. In removing the insole, it reveals a black piece of fabric placed on a thin piece of blue foam. Towards the heel of the shoe, you'll see Gina's face right here, done up in white, and it's kind of reminiscent of like Mars Blackman, Son of Mars, or Spike Lee, that whole art style going on right here. The midsole of the shoe is pretty cool, as the exterior is done in an all black rubber compound, while the inside is supposed to be an EVA foam type material, and there is supposed to be an air unit at the heel. Moving to the outsole of the shoe, it's done in a blown rubber material to enable flexibility, and in this case it's done in a red color. Sizing, normally I'm rocking a size 8.5 or a 9 US. Being that this is a Jordan model, I went with my true to size 8.5, and it leaves me about a centimeter from the top of the toe to the top of the toe box area. In terms of comfort, again, this is the Jordan 1 Retro. They're pretty flat, they don't offer a lot of cushioning in it, so I usually put in my own insole to make it feel a lot better. In terms of breathability, it is a leather shoe, so you're not going to get a lot of airflow into your foot except for this nylon area right here on the tongue. My final thoughts on the Jordan 1 Retro, the SP Gina. Honestly, I'm glad that Shoe Palace and Jordan Brand were able to come together to recognize an educator in our community instead of praising the typical athlete. Definitely, it's a thought that counts, but if we are going to be real, I'm not a fan of this shoe. I just don't like shimmery shoes, I'm not a fan of sequins, and I think that's the consensus of most guys that rock Jordan shoes. Really, the only good takeaway from this release was this lunchbox and that compelling story. Gina, keep doing your thing. Alright guys, I think this is a good stopping point for this video. What do you think about this collaboration between Shoe Palace and Jordan Brand on this Jordan 1 SP Gina? Is this a good pickup? A bad pickup? What do you think about them stepping out of their window and being able to praise educators over the normal, like praising athletes and stuff? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And again, we are hitting it really close to that 8K mark. Thank you if you're subscribed already. If you're not, definitely do so. Alright guys, I am Chris Catalunya, and we will check you next time. Cheers, Gina.